Hello Aquarius, welcome to your 2024 year ahead reading using the tarot. I've pulled a card for each month of 2024. I'll intuitively interpret the messages that are coming through. I'll pull a second card from another deck here, and we usually get some repeating cards, or at least we usually get some thematic nuance and further insight, which helps tie the reading together and just flesh out the month by month interpretations. Welcome back to any Aquarius viewer that's been watching my channel for a while, or especially tuning into these year ahead readings. You may notice I look a little bit different this year, so things have definitely changed for me in 2023 and continue to be expected to change in the rest of this year. It's funny, I actually was watching the Pisces reading back, which is my sign, and the collective one on YouTube, and I called this pregnancy to the month, which was kind of fun. So why I say that is these are great tools, these are great readings to refer back to at any point during your year, or even grab a notebook now and make some notes around the themes that we speak about on a month by month basis. Just looking at a bird's eye view here for a moment of what 2024 looks like for a lot of you guys. And Aquarius, it's that the first half of the year and the second half of the year look pretty different by stark contrast. That's not to say that like the entire first half of the year is going to be a completely different experience to the second half. But the second half of the year looks like some of the most justified, karmically rewarding, empowering, strong, formidable, balanced, secure time in your life. Maybe it's been a long time coming. Let's start with the card for January, which is the Five of Cups. So we're entering 2024, and here we are with the Five of Cups. So for some of you, this is going to be a message around a disorientating or confusing time. You maybe are on one end of the spectrum with the Five of Cups, could be just this sort of feeling of dissatisfaction this month, that in January you just feel like you're at a loss on something. Maybe you can't figure out why, maybe you can't figure out where this is all coming from. Others will have much more of a obvious reason to feel like there's been a loss or there's been a sorrow, and you may not resonate with this at all. If that's the case, the Five of Cups could be just heralding back to a time. Sometimes, you know, just remembering the past, or remembering something that hurt, or remembering something that slipped away, or you miss this person, you miss this place, you miss this sense of freedom. You miss the adventure of building that part of your life up. And there's a bittersweet quality. The Judgment card flying out of the deck. We see this Judgment card coming through again in the month of October. October is an incredibly powerful and transformative beginning to a new chapter in your life. The planet Pluto, associated with Judgment, is going to be in the sign of Aquarius from mid-November onwards for 20 years. I can't tell you how pivotal and timeline shifting, paradigm shifting this year is going to be for the sign of Aquarius. It is building up through the year, but once we hit the ground running with Pluto in Aquarius by transit from November onwards, it's just going to be no going back. Things are fundamentally metamorphosizing, and it's a time for anything that needs to be reborn for you. This year might be the year to do that. If there's anything that has to change from the outside in, allow it. You can enforce so much change from the inside out this year, Aquarius. Judgment card can be an intense energy. Some of you are dealing with intensity in January. Hold space for those around you. Care for yourself. Sit with these feelings. It's safe to be sad. It's safe to feel what you're feeling, and it will pass. But until it does, it's time to hold some space. Justice card at the bottom of the deck coming up in reverse. We see this Justice card also coming through in the summertime for you. So for me, that would be saying that a debt is settled for you in your favor. It's like you can sit back this year and let that challenging situation where you feel like there should be karma, you feel like there should be a justification, or there should be something done about this. Sit back and relax, because the universe is going to take care of it for you. But with this Justice card in reverse at the beginning of the year and Judgment flying out of the deck, and we have Judgment here, it's like you may not feel that this is going to be worked out for you in January. And for some of you, that's why there's this sort of a feeling of misfortune about it, or just kind of like you feel unjustified. You feel like you've been left. Some of you feel like you've kind of been abandoned. Some of you tried to sort of help somebody get on the right track and they went back to their old ways, and some of you feel defeated. Let's go deeper into it, because I definitely don't think this could speak to everybody watching. Take what resonates and leave the rest. For me, there is an indication as well with the Five of Cups that some of you are just remembering a time, and it's that classic kind of start to the year where there's that kind of January blues, if you will. But I do have the Empress coming through in reverse. The Empress in reverse can feel like they're underappreciated, because this is a person or an energy that deserves it all. They're so full of love, they're so giving and so embodied in the divine feminine. They're vulnerable with people. They let people in, they let their walls down, they open their heart. In the reversal, this can be the effect or impact on you when your vulnerability or your hospitality, your graciousness, your extension of love and heartfelt friendship or affection is not reciprocated, and indeed you kind of feel like at a lower ebb because of this. Sometimes you might even feel uncomfortable in your own surroundings, like your usual safe space, your usual security, your usual sense of belonging is kind of out of sync in January. Like I said, sit with these uncomfortable feelings that are coming up. The Empress in reverse is an invitation to love yourself even deeper, and to kind of appreciate yourself and all the gifts and wonderful things about you that you have to offer. Now, as we move into February, there is a tone shift for the better with the Page of Pentacles. So we enter maybe Aquarius season. We've had Pluto move into Aquarius by like the 21st of January, roughly. Through the month of Aquarius, it is the month of Aquarius, February. Through the month of February, Mars, Venus and Mercury and the Sun will all enter Aquarius at some point, and they'll all pass that 0 degrees Pluto sitting in Aquarius. Pluto moves very slowly, so Pluto will sit there at Aquarius 0 degree point for almost the whole month. It might move to 1 degree, I think. But all of those faster moving celestial bodies will zip past Pluto, and they'll each pick up a little bit of Plutonic flavor on their way. So February is going to be an extremely enlightening month for you, Aquarius, where you're going to see how the Pluto in Aquarius transit is going to play out for you over the next 20 years. The most in February, because of the blast from all the other planets just kind of heating things up. So pay close attention to what's happening in February. It's part of a much, much larger cycle. The Page of Pentacles speaks to new experiences. The Page of Pentacles speaks to learning, discovery. It speaks to research and really getting interested in something and really having like a bright spark. And you want to share information. You're compiling instructions and manuals, or you're reading coursework, you're enrolling in classes, you're teaching classes, you're sharing what you know, and you're soaking up a lot of, like I said, experience. The Queen of Swords, a very ethereal now and graceful, confident earth sign or air sign you energy coming through. Straight to the point on matters, and very clear vision, clear focus. For any of you who are writers, publishers, content creators, analysts, accountants, if you work with the data, figures, or of course the spoken word, or if you record, or if you compile information, this is a really like positive month at this point. This could come up in your day job. This could come up in having a very good month for like filing taxes or your administrative work from home. But this could also be part of something that you do as your calling. You've been called to write a memoir. You've been called to record, to kind of record, to curate, and to gather information, to kind of present, or to understand. This could just show you are entering a phase of your life where now you're going to need to know more about a subject. It becomes relevant to you. So for instance, like me now being pregnant, like in August, I do one of these for myself every year, and at the beginning of 2023, this Page of Pentacles was the card that came up for me for the month of August. I didn't know at the time that I would be deeply researching a brand new arena. I mean, I knew a little bit about it, and that's the thing with the Page of Pentacles. They always know a little bit about it. I knew a little bit about birth and pregnancy. Who doesn't at this point, you know? It's like the one of the most basic factors of life, right? So we all know a bit about that. But in August, I dove really deep. I was following all these different routes, loads of sources, loads of anecdotal and scientific evidence, loads of first-hand accounts. So you're just getting and compiling information on something that becomes deeply relevant to you. I love that you've got a really couple of like spicy, fun, vivacious, exciting and energetic couple of months in April and in May. In March and in April. In March and in April, we do have a pair of eclipses. This is the Queen of Wands energy. It is actually an Aries energy. The eclipse in April is in Aries, but we're kind of getting that axis point in our chart of Aries, Libra. It's heating up now. So look, Aquarius, at your chart. Where does Aries fall? What's that polarity point? That is where there is going to be experience happening. Themes coming alive, beginnings and endings, turning points, detours. The Queen of Wands is a very confident and vibrant energy. This would tell me that with the spring equinox, you're now feeling like this is the true start to the year. This is when you come alive with nature. Amazing. The Nine of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Pentacles. And why stop me now? Because I've got two of our duplicating cards here. Powerful Emperor, Powerful Judgment. We're really seeing that Judgment card a lot, right? I don't think we've seen the end of it either. This is a time now where under the current, this is when the second half of a year themes are actually coming alive. It might mean that you put out resumes and you don't have your feedback yet. It might mean that people have you in mind, but you don't know about it until far later in the year. Something is happening under the current that will play out in a much bigger way come, like, I think we're going to be then like August, September. October, November as well. But for the meantime, you have some sort of a fabulous boost to your self-esteem in March, which I really think is necessary after that Empress coming through in reverse. So the Queen of Wands here is telling me that you have this kind of like high flying, very visible, very like full of gravitas, and like there's a lot of eyes on you. You're very in demand in the month of March and you're loving it, you know. You feel very satisfied. That's the Nine of Cups coming through, which is the card to accompany it. It suggests like there's some sort of a wish fulfillment, or there's just such of a really noticeable boost to your confidence, your energy, your self-esteem, your happiness, your joy, your purpose and your passions. This could come by the way of travel and expansion or new opportunities with the Ace of Pentacles. Together this speaks to some sort of an opportunity that really blows what's been going on previously out of the water for some of you, so that's really something to look forward to. Let's move on to the Page of Rods. So this is going to be a signature for travel, for cross-cultural experience, just for fun, for being around people that are light-hearted. It could be that you're dealing with some fire signs, some air signs at the beginning, like February, March, April. But this is just people that like bring out a side to you, mirror your like fun, free-spirited and easygoing like nature, and also inspire you to kind of try something new and be adventurous and things like that. So I love that. The Magician. So the Magician card is about taking very inspired action and doing something about a situation. Sometimes there is a period in our life where we kind of are sitting back in reflection, and sometimes we're waiting for these blessings to come our way. With the reversal though, January is telling me that there's a block in your creative energy, there's a block in your self-confidence, which is kind of hindering in some way your ability to receive abundance and ability to feel love, because it's a deeper invitation for you to go within yourself and cultivate that feeling of love and acceptance and appreciation for yourself first and foremost, so that it can kind of clear the way, clear the blockage for that to come in through the external. But it's an invitation to sort of go within in January. Now in April, this is an invitation to spring out into action, be decisive, be assertive, go for what you want. There is something, Page of Wands, that is just bubbling up within you, a creative force. April is a time where you deeply get to know the creative forces and motivations that are unique to you, that drive you and that exist within you. And you can't deny that you're very passionate about something, that you're very inspired by something. And the thing is, this is the second page. The pages are all about experience and new, fresh energy. The Magician card, well, the Magician card, not only are they inspired to take action, they have all the tools, skills and talent to make this magic happen. So that's not energy to be wasted. You've got your magic staff, you've got your magic wand. All you have to do is strike out now, do something about it and get going. So we're gonna look at May and June together. A couple of tricky cards to get through in May and June, and that's when the energy shifts completely for the better. May and June is the Achilles heel of 2024. For June, there's a Tower, which just clears the way for everything that comes next. Everything that crumbles in the Tower wasn't there to serve your highest good. It was inadequate. It was an illusion. Nothing real can ever be broken in a Tower sweep. The Tower can sometimes work for us. The Tower can make change occur, and it can shake things up in areas of life that sometimes we're not willing to look at ourselves or do ourselves. Let's first look at May. We have the Five of Swords. I don't usually like the energies that play out in the Five of Swords. When I have to deal with the Five of Swords, it usually means I'm dealing with a hater, or I'm dealing with somebody who kind of has the evil eye. I'm going to take two cards. The Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Four of Pentacles. Capricorn energy is coming through for the moment. So not necessarily it's a Capricorn that you have an issue with, but it could be it could be the patriarchy, you know, it could be a government structure, it could be a corporation, or it could be one of those top-down authority kind of Capricorn structures. It could be something to do with the bank. It could be something to do with a loan that you have to repay. There's something lurking in May which presents you with a challenge to overcome. And for some of you, it will be about a group of people that it's not working out anymore. For some of you, you might feel like you have to move on from a group, a team, or an organization. For some of you, you were, rallying for this cause, or you were rallying for this ideology or philosophy, and suddenly the Tower kind of shows you where you have maybe been under an illusion or a spell. This also could speak to the group of people that you work with. This could speak to the group of people that you call your circle of friends, your inner circle even, which can be painful. The Four of Pentacles is saying that there is still steadiness, sturdiness, and reliability for you in May and in June. The Tower is saying those things which are not reliable or durable or steadfast or working for you in the long term. In fact, some of them might even be in your detriment, Aquarius. That's what's not going to last the test of time. So certain things come to light which are uncomfortable to deal with. Some of you feel like you might have been a little bit deceived about money, or deceived around like the savings or the security, and there is this kind of a hoodwinking that is possible in May. So let's not dwell in May and June for too long, because like I said, the second half of the year is going to be one of the best of your life. And all that has to happen first is the significant clearing of energy that is not even real for you anymore. It is an illusion at this point. For some of you, that's kind of shocking. The Tower in June. The cathartic Tower, the cleansing. The World, the final card of the deck, the Devil card, and the Sun card at the bottom of the deck. What you're seeing now, Aquarius, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 major arcana cards so far in a row. This is, for want of a better word, major, okay? Because the major arcana cards are fewer in the deck, yet when they appear, their significance is tenfold, because they represent significant turning points in the evolution of our soul. They represent big leaps forward in terms of growth, in terms of reward, in terms of sort of unlocking codes of our self even that, we haven't fully utilized yet. The Devil card shows where we are being lied to or lying to ourselves. The Sun card represents the most raw, real, and authentically pure and good, right? So there's a stark contrast between the innocence and the corruption in these cards. What is pure will be there for you. What is corrupted, tainted, or an illusionary drain on you may be cleared. The World card, the last card of the deck. For many of you, Aquarius, this is a clearing that will be so welcome, because for many of you, you've dealt with this baggage, you've dealt with this compulsion, this addictive cycle, this toxic relationship, this baggage. I'm really hearing baggage for so long now. Some of you are thinking, well, that's just part of me. That's part of my cycle. That's part of my life story. The beauty is we get to call it time on that and end that story and write a new one whenever we want. So the World card wraps up a cycle at this point that has been building and building and building. Eventually, there has to be a breakthrough here, and I think for some of you, you've let it go on more than long enough. The World card is going to tie this all up for you and let you enjoy the closure, even if something comes in a more chaotic or cathartic way. The World card still affords you this completion, this sort of like sense making of all of this. The Justice card. Okay, so now we're definitely getting a completely different vibe check for the last 6 months of the year. Now the Justice card coming out after this intense May and June might still just be, even though it works in your favor, you may still just have the ramifications of the intensity. The scales are being balanced still. You're still just kind of sinking in, figuring out, oh, I love that. The Fool right here at the bottom of the deck. So we've got the last major arcana and the Fool card is the first. So as you end a cycle of your life, it could have been, you know, you're no longer single, you're getting married, you're no longer working in this field or this career.